Ideas.
People are one of the most valuable resources available to any economy. If they're not healthy, educated, integrated into meaningful work, that's detrimental not just for the individual, but for society as a whole.
Almost 2/3 of the population is under 30, but 4 out of 5 of them barely complete lower secondary education. So most of this potential labour force is stuck at the low end of the job market. There are 300,000 new job seekers every year, and many of them have limited options. Settling into the family business, working in the garment sector, or becoming a migrant worker in a neighbouring country.
For some, it's about workforce planning within a particular company. For others, it's about looking at education and skills in an economy and trying to understand, from the day people are born to the day people die, how much are they being invested in and how well is that investment being leveraged by a particular economy. This is going to be particularly important for 2 reasons. One is the upcoming talent scarcity in the world. Despite high levels of unemployment in certain parts of the world, we're actually going to be facing a talent crunch. And so it'll be very important to understand how we get that talent for tomorrow. Second is population dynamics. Some countries are facing aging or aged populations, while other countries have youth bulges. They need to know where they stand today so that they can make the right kind of investments for the future.
We are in about 130 countries around the world, and so it's a fascinating management challenge to try to adjust the HR practices based on whether you're in Africa, the Middle East, Asia, or Latin America. Just a couple of quick examples, because I think Monica and Claudia were quite articulate in talking about the skills gap and how you can do some training within the workplace to try to build those skills up. So for example, in Saudi Arabia, there's something called Saudi-isation. The Saudi government very much wants a company like ours to hire a greater percentage of Saudi nationals. At the same time, the population base doesn't necessarily have the skills that we need in our employment. So we've started something called the Marsh Academy within Saudi Arabia, where people will come to us at the age of 18 years old, typically, not going to college, Monica, and spend 18 months with us at very, very low pay, but learning basically the skills of what in this case, the insurance business actually occurs. And the government's been very supportive of that because they think that that helps solve an issue for them. In China, we've done something very similar. To give a quick story about Brazil, the labor laws in Brazil, for abundantly good reasons, are pretty strong, pretty protective of the workforce, because the government is trying to do right by the people in Brazil, which is perfectly appropriate. When we try to have dialogues, however, Ricardo, about bringing people on at a very low wage rate and not necessarily giving them all the benefits that a full-time employee who has perhaps a college degree has, it's a little bit more challenging in some areas, including in Brazil.